Imagine living a life where each step, each decision, and each challenge are guided by a greater purpose. Now, take a moment and ask yourself, what would happen if you started involving God in everything you do? Many people carry the weight of worries, doubts, feeling like they bear the world on their shoulders, not realizing there is a way to live with peace and a transformative purpose. Today, let's explore how this change can turn your life into something truly extraordinary. When you let God guide your path, problems don't disappear, but the way you face them changes completely. You find a peace that strengthens the spirit, and you see life gain a brightness, a direction you never imagined. This content will show you how involving God in every detail brings true life improvement, something many seek but few find. So, stay until the end, as each word is like a map that leads you to a lighter, fuller life aligned with what God dreamed for you. And if you want to see this message reach more people, help the channel grow, share this video, subscribe, and leave a like. If you're going through something and need prayer, leave your request in the comments, as we'll be praying for each of you. Peace and purpose. Including God in every aspect of life is like planting a seed that, over time, blossoms, bringing peace and purpose where there once was doubt. Imagine facing a tough problem and, instead of carrying that burden alone, handing that worry over to God. Suddenly, the weight lessens, and you find serenity even amid chaos. This transformation doesn't mean problems will disappear, but that you'll have the tranquility to handle them with a peaceful heart and a clear mind, allowing you to see a deeper purpose in each challenge. When you trust that God is guiding your path, decisions no longer feel as heavy, and the fear of the unknown turns into confidence. For example, when making an important decision, like choosing a career or moving to a new city, involve God. Ask for guidance. You'll start feeling a peace that surpasses understanding, as if you're walking beside a wise and faithful mentor. This inner peace strengthens your confidence and helps push away doubts, creating a solid foundation for building a life full of purpose. You know those days when nothing seems to make sense? When you place God at the center, everything changes. Life may still be challenging, but a sense of purpose emerges in small things. Treating your work as a mission, your family as a gift, and even difficulties as lessons, you'll see that God acts in unexpected ways. He transforms the ordinary into extraordinary, and what once seemed insignificant now has a greater meaning, a link that connects you to a divine plan. Even in relationships, when God is present, He brings patience and understanding you may not have known you had. In moments of conflict, you'll find the strength to respond with love, to forgive, and to understand. Instead of being just another person in others' lives, you become someone who inspires, who brings peace and light to situations. This change doesn't happen overnight, but with each small choice to put God first, you build something lasting that enriches life. This is a continuous transformation, a journey that requires faith and trust at each step. Today, you begin with a prayer, tomorrow, with a small act of kindness, and in this way, your life gains a new dimension. When you invite God into every moment, you feel the path brighten. Peace becomes present even when everything seems to fall apart. And thus, a new purpose emerges, bringing with it the certainty that this journey alongside God will never be in vain. Decisions and control. When you decide to surrender the control of your decisions to God, a relief starts to fill your heart. So often, we find ourselves trying to control every detail, as if the success of everything depended solely on us. But by letting God guide, you let go of the need to solve everything alone and find peace in knowing that He is in command. Imagine making an important decision and, instead of feeling anxious, finding serenity because you know you're leaving the direction in God's hands. This simple act transforms worries into trust. Letting go of control is like releasing the reins and letting God guide you through paths you may never have imagined. In moments of doubt, remember, God's vision is infinite, and He sees beyond what we can comprehend. Instead of deciding everything on your own, you can ask, God, what is the best path? This kind of question frees your mind and heart, allowing Him to reveal what is truly necessary for your growth and purpose. When you make decisions with God, even mistakes become opportunities for growth. How many times have you looked back and realized that what seemed like a detour was actually an essential part of your learning? Trusting in God for daily choices is an act of faith that helps you see beyond immediate circumstances. He turns mistakes into lessons, and each step becomes a journey of divine transformation, an invitation to a more complete and meaningful life. In situations of impasse, trusting God brings emotional balance that lets you see the problem more clearly. Instead of being overwhelmed by worry or fear of making the wrong choice, you realize that when God is at the center, even the most complex situations become lighter. This doesn't mean there's no responsibility, but rather a trust that eases each decision, as if you're counting on the support of someone who knows the future. From the moment you accept that God is in control, your view of what is important changes profoundly. Even the simplest choices start to hold a greater meaning, as they are guided by a divine purpose. By letting go of control, you allow God to lead you towards a life that radiates faith and confidence, creating a relationship with Him that strengthens each decision and directs each step. Daily small steps. The journey with God begins with small steps, in each choice made with intention and faith. Imagine waking up and already including God in your day, whether with a simple prayer, a silent thanksgiving, or even a brief inspiring reading. These gestures may seem small, but gradually shape your mindset and strengthen your relationship with Him. When you include these daily actions, you'll notice that, little by little, your connection with God intensifies, and He begins to guide even the most routine moments. These small steps are also ways to build a blessed and purposeful life. Even in the most common tasks, like work or caring for your home, acting with the intention of pleasing God, you turn the ordinary into the sacred. It's as if each task becomes an opportunity to serve, to improve, and to walk beside Him. And if a difficulty arises, you'll have the strength that comes from faith to face it, as your spirit will be strengthened by the divine presence. By integrating God into every detail of life, you start to see concrete changes in yourself. Patience grows, self-control is strengthened, and peace settles in your heart. These are the results of continuous transformation, where God becomes your guide in all areas. Imagine, for example, starting the week by dedicating it to Him, asking for direction and strength. You'll see that, little by little, this relationship reflects in a life full of peace and confidence. These small daily actions also help to strengthen your faith in moments of doubt. When life presents challenges, you already have a solid foundation to face whatever comes. You know you can trust God because He has been with you in each small step. This deep trust, built daily, pushes you forward even when everything seems difficult. God becomes your support, and this assurance transforms your life in extraordinary ways. Every step you take with God brings you closer to a complete spiritual transformation. No matter the size of the challenge, because you know you are not alone. With this daily practice, you'll notice that life gains a new color, a new glow. It is a journey that starts in the little things but leads to profound changes, creating a path of faith and trust that strengthens your life in every area. Transformed relationships. When you place God at the center of your relationships, everything begins to change. Patience, which once seemed scarce, multiplies, and you start to listen to others with more compassion and understanding. God brings a love that transcends our limitations, helping us respond with wisdom in moments of conflict. Imagine a family argument where, instead of reacting impulsively, you pause, breathe, and seek a response that God would inspire. This small gesture is powerful, for it shows that when God is the foundation, even tough situations find a solution filled with love. By cultivating a relationship with God, your interactions with people also become richer and more meaningful. In joyful moments, you give thanks and celebrate, and in challenging times, you seek strength and serenity from faith. You know that friendship that went through a crisis? When you involve God, it's easier to forgive and ask for forgiveness, recognizing that we all need grace. This divine view of relationships creates a deep connection based on respect and empathy. God also teaches us to be more careful with the words we choose. In moments when you feel like criticizing or judging, remember how He treats us, always with mercy. Your words then become a reflection of love and kindness, turning any conversation into an opportunity to strengthen bonds. This attitude inspires those around you and lets them see that there is something different in you, something that comes from a divine source. In the workplace, for instance, you can bring this wisdom to deal with colleagues and superiors. Imagine facing a tense situation, and instead of letting the pressure take over, you seek wisdom in God. Your serene and firm posture becomes an example for others, showing that faith has power even in the most challenging moments. This positive influence not only elevates your environment but also strengthens your relationship with God, evident through your actions. When God is the foundation of your relationships, you find that love and peace multiply. Gradually, you become a person who inspires trust and helps others see a path of love and understanding. This continuous spiritual growth reflects a life in harmony with what God planned for each of us. And this transformation that starts in your relationships soon extends to all areas of your life. Complete life impact. When you start seeing your life through the eyes of faith, everything gains a new meaning. Difficulties that once seemed unsolvable now appear as opportunities to strengthen and grow spiritually. Imagine a moment when you face a complex problem. Instead of despairing, you remember that God is by your side, and that changes everything. Trusting in God helps you face each situation with courage, knowing that even the most challenging circumstances can bring valuable lessons for a life with purpose. Faith has the power to transform even the smallest daily tasks. Instead of merely fulfilling obligations, you begin to see each act as a chance to show gratitude and live a blessed life. Waking up early, caring for your family, dedicating yourself to work, all take on a greater meaning. You realize that by doing each task with dedication and the intention of pleasing God, your life becomes a reflection of your faith. This impact is complete and changes from your thoughts to your actions. In times of difficulty, this faith in God also makes you face challenges with a new perspective. Instead of feeling defeated, you understand that these situations are part of God's path for your life, a process of refinement. For example, when facing a loss, you not only focus on the pain but seek to understand what God wants to teach. This view makes your journey lighter and helps maintain emotional balance, even on the toughest days. Each time you choose to trust in God, The impact is felt not only by you but by everyone around you. People start to notice that your strength comes from something greater, from a peace that only God can provide. You become an inspiration, someone who shows that it is possible to live with purpose and resilience. This does not mean you will always be in perfect calm, but that your trust in the power of faith will help you rise again whenever needed. Living with God in every detail of life is an invitation for a continuous and profound transformation. Little by little, faith becomes the foundation that supports all aspects of your existence, from relationships to professional decisions. This complete impact is a blessing that guides each step and strengthens your confidence in the spiritual journey. And as you move forward, this transformation expands, reaching those around you and spreading the light of a life aligned with the divine purpose. Continuous transformation. When you invite God into every aspect of your life, transformation becomes a continuous process, an ongoing evolution. It's not about instant change, but about daily growth, where each step is guided by faith and trust. Imagine deciding to improve in some area, whether in relationships or your professional life. By surrendering it into God's hands, He begins to shape your path. With each choice, no matter how small, you feel you are getting closer to what He has planned for your life. This transformation is like a construction that strengthens over time, through daily decisions and actions that reflect your relationship with God. Every act of patience, every gesture of compassion, every honest choice is part of this process. For example, when you choose to act kindly in a tough situation, you are allowing God to work through you, creating a lasting impact. This change is visible not only to you but also to those around you, who start to notice that your faith is not just something you believe in but something you live by. And in the midst of this process, you learn to draw closer to the purpose God has for you. Faith and trust in God make your actions stop being automatic and take on a deeper meaning. Even when facing difficulties, you understand that these moments are essential for your growth. Just as gold is refined by fire, you become stronger and closer to living a blessed and purposeful life. Over time, this transformation reflects in all areas of your life. The way you handle challenges, the patience you demonstrate, and the peace you feel even in adverse situations are the results of this change. When you realize this, you understand that each step in your spiritual journey shapes who you are and who you are destined to become. Your life begins to align in ways you never imagined possible. This journey is not only about external changes but an internal transformation that renews your spirit daily. When God is in command, each day becomes a new opportunity to grow and strengthen. This continuous process is what makes life with God a journey of faith, where each moment connects to the next, and each choice paves the way for an even greater transformation. Time and waiting. Waiting is one of the greatest tests of faith, and trusting God's timing is an act of deep trust. In our haste, we want things to happen now, but God knows the right moment for each thing. When you learn to wait, you discover a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances but on the certainty that God is working. Imagine a dream you have stored away, but that seems distant. By surrendering it to God and accepting His timing, you walk with more tranquility, knowing the right moment will come. This waiting time is also an opportunity for growth, an invitation to strengthen your faith and reflect on what truly matters. Think of the stories of great biblical figures who waited years to see God's promises fulfilled. Instead of despairing, they used this time to prepare, trusting that God was taking care of every detail. This trust is a valuable lesson, teaching us that God's timing is perfect and that He knows exactly when to act. While you wait, God works in your life in ways you may not yet see. He uses this period to develop your qualities, to strengthen your spirit, and to draw you closer to Him. You may not see immediate changes, but each day you choose to trust Him is a seed being planted that will bear fruit at the right time. Practicing patience actually builds a more solid and profound relationship with God. This wait also teaches us to value achievements when they finally arrive. When something comes too quickly, it may be easy not to give it the proper value, but when you go through a process of waiting, the worth of that realization multiplies. Each victory becomes confirmation that God keeps His promises, and each step along the way a reminder that He never fails. It's a lesson that waiting moments prepare us to receive something much greater than we imagined. Finally, trusting God's timing is an exercise in surrender and humility. When you let go of anxiety and accept that He knows the exact moment, you begin to live with more lightness. This patience allows you to enjoy the present and prepare for the future with serenity. And thus, you experience the beauty of a relationship where faith and trust become the foundation of a blessed life guided by divine love. We've come to the end of this journey of reflection, but the real beginning is in each step you choose to take from here. God is already waiting to guide every decision and transform challenges into profound lessons. And now, how about reflecting? How can you involve God in everything you do? In what areas of your life do you most feel the need for change? Write in the comments if this content helped you in any way, or leave your prayer request. It is an honor to pray for each of you. If this message touched your heart, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any reflections. Let's build a blessed life, strengthened in divine purpose together in faith and trust. May this journey of faith inspire and transform each of your days.